let's look at Sunny's greenhouse. Sunny produces roses, and their final cost for the production of X 100 roses is C of X equals 50X plus 500. So X is the number of 100 roses she produces. C, remember, is commonly used for the cost function. So they're giving us the cost function and asking us to find the average cost function. Well, how do you find an average? An average is found by taking the total and dividing by however many there are. Well, this is the total cost, so we want to take the total cost function and divide by how many roses we have. So that would just be 50X plus 500 over X. Now, this actually was created from combining two functions together, the 1 over X function and the cost function. When we do this, of course, we always have to be careful about our domain because we have denominators. So we know the denominator can't be 0, but let's also think about the problem itself. Here, if this is the number of roses she produces, that number can't be negative. So it's got to be positive, but not only that, it's got to be greater than 0, because 0 would, in the denominator, would make it undefined. So our domain, or possible numbers we could use for X here, would be X greater than 0. And of course, remember, if you wanted that in interval notation, it would look like that. So now let's continue talking about Sunny's greenhouse and the average cost function. It says graph the average cost function for 0 to 5,000 roses. Now be careful there, because we don't need to go to 5,000 here, because remember, our X represents number of hundreds of roses. So 5,000 divided by 100 gives us 50. So that means X is going to start at 0 and it's going to go up to X equals 50. So that's what we're going to use on our X-axis. And we need to play around a little bit to see what we want to use on our Y, just by calculating what it would be. Given the graph that we have here, our X is going from 0 to 50. The Y, they chose to give us Y values of 0 to 1200. Okay, that's just the graph they chose to give us. There's nothing magic about 1200 there, except that it might be a logical cost to have in this problem. So here's our average cost function, and we see it starts out real high and then it goes down and gets real close to that X-axis. That means the more roses that she's selling, the less the average cost for those roses are. So this proves that as you buy in bulk, that average cost goes down. Okay. So here, our assumption is, the solution that we can conclude from this is that as your number of roses goes up, your average, which is the Y value, your average cost decreases.